Am I the a-hole for divorcing my husband over a puzzle? I, 34 female, and my husband, 35 male, have been married for 6 years now. We met when we were kids and grew up together in a small town. Everybody always knew that we were going to end up together. I have a hobby of doing puzzles, and I would often encourage my husband to join me, expressing that it would make me happy if he took an interest in what I enjoy doing. However, when I told my husband this, he just laughed and said he has better things to do than care home activities. The comment always rubbed me the wrong way, but I know my husband can be insensitive to these things, so I never commented further on it. My husband and I are very different. While he prefers to go out hiking or to meet up with friends in his spare time, I would rather stay at home and read a book, or cook, or doing puzzles at home. While I wouldn't call myself introverted, my husband often told me I should make greater effort to socialize more and get out. Recently, this topic has been appearing more and more in our arguments, so last week, I asked him why it bothered him so much that I don't like to go out as much as him, and he told me it's a waste of a pretty face. I told him I didn't appreciate that comment and that he shouldn't have married me if what I did in spare time was such a problem to him. He scoffed and told me that he shouldn't have married me either. He then left the house and came back until night, when I was already in bed. I have a rather extensive collection of puzzles that I collect and then display in my office room. When we got married, I agreed I would leave them in my office when they were finished and that he would never find the pieces lying another. He often told me I was filling the house with eyesores and that he wanted to live in a home, not a children's playhouse. That night after he left, I redid one of my favorite puzzles to seek comfort from its familiarity. It was a gift from a friend that has moved away a few years ago. It was a beautiful, custom-made puzzle, and it meant the world to me. The picture that puzzle creates is one of me and my friend at our graduation. It's a big puzzle comprising about 200 pieces, so I didn't finish it that day and I went to bed, leaving the pieces scattered over our dining table. When I woke the next morning to finish the puzzle, it was no longer on the table where I had left it. It wasn't in our bedroom. It wasn't in my office. None of my collection was. I finally went to the kitchen to ask my husband if he'd seen my puzzle collection. He looked at me and with a smug little smirk and told me he had to put them all where they belong. I immediately knew that he had thrown them into the trash. It was Friday morning, and that's when the trash was taken away. So I knew I had lost them forever. I didn't waste time shouting at him. I just went to my room and packed my essentials before taking a taxi to my mom's place. He didn't stop me from leaving. He didn't ask where I was going. I told my mom what had happened, and she told me I could stay at her place however long I need, until I figured out what my next steps were going to be. I consulted my friends about the matter, and they told me that my husband had been asking everyone where I was and had been telling them to keep their silences about his inquiries. They advised to look into divorce with my husband, and if that wasn't an option I will take, then we should try couples counseling. My husband realized I was serious, and so he started spamming my phone calls and messages, telling me I was being rash and unreasonable, and that no normal human should care that much about a glorified piece of plastic. I had not yet replied to any of his messages. Some of my friends also could not understand why the puzzles hold such value to me. But for me, that has just given me more of an incentive to remove him from my life permanently. 2 days ago, I told him I was going to mourn those puzzles more than I would ever mourn our relationship. Many people are telling me I'm making a mistake in seeking divorce so quickly, and that I'll regret my decision. But this whole experience has taught me I hate my husband, and that I was right to cheat on him with my friend that moved away. So, am I the a-hole?